Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. So we're going to get started. It's 3 p.m. and I think it's best that we start on time so that we have more time for questions and just to discuss the different portfolios. So sorry, you keep hearing the sound. It's just a lot of people coming in. So let me try see if I can mute that or if we can avoid that sound. Okay, give me a second, please. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so looks like the sound is not there anymore. We have just enough people to get started, so I think it's best that we get started. But welcome to everyone to today's webinar. So today we're going to be chatting about creating a creative portfolio to get more clients. We're just going to reserve all of the questions to about 30 minutes into the webinar. Like at 3:30, we'll start discussing all the questions. Since I will be presenting, I won't really be able to see the chat section or any of the reactions that you guys give. So at 3:30, I'll just start presenting and then we'll get into the questions and I'll try to switch around the screens just to make sure that I am getting to all questions. Cool. So if you can hear me, please just give me a reaction, a thumbs up. That will be great so that I'm audible and everybody can hear me. Okay, awesome. Cool. I can see that we can all hear each other. Well, I can't hear you guys because you guys are on mute, but I can see that you guys can hear me. And just out of curiosity, where are you guys joining from? You can let me know in the chat section if you're joining from Joburg or if you're joining from, anywhere else besides Joburg. It's something that would be very interesting to know. But yeah, whilst you guys are still doing that, I think we can dive straight into it so that I don't blubber in around. Okay, awesome. I see from Joburg, Midrand, and all the way from PMB. That's nice. I'm from PMB, so awesome. Okay, awesome. Cool. I see Durban and Joburg are dominating me in the chat section. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys. Cool. So we're just going to get started. So when it comes to creating a portfolio, last time we had this discussion, we had a couple of people join in the call and, we had a couple of questions and I'm hoping that we have the same engagement in this webinar. And I did have a couple of questions even after the webinar. So please, if you have any questions after this webinar and I don't get to them, please feel free to ask me on the Kolabola group. I will share details on how to join the group and how to be part of the community so that you can engage with other creatives in the industry. And you can basically ask anything in that community, which is great. So creating a creative portfolio to get more clients, specifically to get more clients, is a bit of a learning process. It's a journey that you go through because first things first, you have to create a portfolio that you don't like. And then only then when you see other people's profiles, do you then want to make yours a little bit better? Do you want to improve yours? So what I always say is that once you create your first portfolio, and then you go into learning platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and see other people's portfolios just by searching designer portfolio, or just by searching for social media manager portfolio on TikTok or YouTube, you will see how other people have created their portfolios. That will motivate you to make yours better, because once you see what other people in the industry are doing, you'll be motivated to actually improve yours, because you'll then see the competition. Those are the people that you're competing with. Those are the people that your portfolio is up against. So that's why I'm here today, trying to help you guys improve your portfolios, or just give you tips on how you can improve your portfolios. Okay, so first things first, 5 keys that we're going to discuss is the tools that you can use to create your portfolio. We're going to go through my first portfolio and what your portfolio should have and how to showcase your clients on your portfolio. And then we're going to look at my portfolio now, right? We're going to try to squeeze all of this into 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes. And then, yeah, so it'll be a very fast one. Get screenshots, write down your notes, and let's get right into it. Okay, so there are different tools that you can use to create your portfolio. One of my favorite tools, we're going to discuss one important one that is accessible to everyone, and that is Canva, right? I know designers cringe when they hear the word Canva, because everybody thinks they're a graphic designer on Canva, but it's accessible to everyone. Everyone can use Canva, and it's something that everybody can use, no matter how old you are, no matter where you are in the industry or how many years of experience. It's the simplest tool to use. And I think that is the best place to start. Even if you're not starting, that is the best place to create your portfolio, because you're able to save multiple files of it. You're able to continuously edit it, continuously improve it. And even if you have Canva Pro, or you have the free version of Canva, there's still so much that you can do to improve your portfolio, right? Then there's also Behance. A lot of designers use Behance. There's also Behance, and then there's Wix. I haven't really used Behance, but I have used Wix before. Wix is a website platform, so some people prefer to have their platforms on their website. Wix, which is spelled W-I-X, check it out. They do have free templates that you can use to create your portfolio, and when a client asks for a portfolio, then you can just send them that one. Okay, then now we're just going to go through my first portfolio. And please let me know if you have any questions, and then we'll discuss those at the end of this presentation. Okay, so introduction. My name is Happiness. It's quite a late introduction, considering that I have spent the last 8 minutes talking and just talking and talking. So now now you know my name. Name is Happiness, and I am a creative. Why I say creative is because there's a lot of things that I do in the industry that don't really box me into one thing. I love design, I love photography, I love videography, I love creating content most, but expertise lies at social media management. I run an agency called HL Studio. We're a team of 4 people now, mixture of designers as well as social media managers, helping small to medium-sized businesses run their social media and just better their content. I think I joined photography and videography because I was so upset at how my clients were not really sending me content. So I started visiting my clients' offices to take photos of their products and videos of their products. And that's how I got into photography and videography, creating their content from the content that I took myself. Makes me a bit of a narcissist, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, they do get their content that they like on social media, and I don't have to bother them for their content. Cool. So just a bit into my experience, 5+ years of experience. I've managed over 30+ accounts on social media. This number has gone way up in the past year. I have worked in more than 10 industries, mainly events. I love events, anything that's got to do with business conferences, business events. I love those. Plus, they do pay well. And yeah, till date, I've had a lot of cups of coffee, and this is honest. I drink coffee like a mad person because what else is going to give me energy besides coffee? Okay, so diving right back into this one, the tools that you can use to create your portfolio. This is, I always say, screenshot this one. We're not going to repeat this list again, so screenshot it. So the website builders that you can look at, you've got your WordPress, your Squarespace, and your Wix. We've already spoken about Wix. Squarespace is another one. It's a nice one. It's a little bit new compared to Wix, but I prefer Wix from those three. And then portfolio-specific platforms, you've got Behance, and then you've also got another platform which is called Dribbble. I've never used Dribbble before, but Behance is a good one. And then my all-time favorite, which is Canva. Okay, awesome. So let's take a look at my first portfolio. My first portfolio is, yeah, it's what they would say on TikTok. It's cringe-worthy content. You would cringe. I cringe when I look at my portfolio. I mean, some people look at my first portfolio and they think there's nothing wrong with this. But knowing what I know now and knowing what I know after seeing other people's portfolios, specifically portfolios of American content creators and content creators in the UK, this portfolio was never going to cut it. And now I don't even blame the people that didn't hire me for the jobs where I applied using this portfolio, because yeah, it was a lot to go through. Okay, so my first portfolio starts with, a very long, a very long intro into who I am, right? It's got a professional photo there. I mean, some people choose to go very creative with their photos, or their intro photos, as I like to call them. Mine was professional because I deal mainly with corporate companies. I niched down my business to corporate companies. So sometimes I do decline, quote requests from companies that don't align with our target market, so that we are straight aligned and they relate to the type of content that we create. So I wanted to make sure that my portfolio matches the target audience. I wasn't going to go apply for, or I wasn't going to go and pitch to ABSA with, a picture that is showing, a picture that is not related to their target market as well. Because you also have to realize that your portfolio is not only going to the person that's asking you to apply, it's going to the CEOs, to the, the head of the departments, it's going to the owners of a company, right? And if you're in the space that I'm in, you know that those are business people. They want to see you as a representable person, because not only are you going to create content, you're going to be representing that department. So you kind of have to match that kind of feeling. You have to give them that feeling that, okay, this is a professional person. We can work with her. We can arrange a meeting with her, right? And then there are some other niches where you can honestly go wild. You can be creative. You can be, you can have pink hair on your picture. You can have, a revealing outfit, because that's the target market that you are presenting this portfolio to, right? So one thing that was wrong with this page, I don't know. Let me know in the chat section, what do you guys think is wrong with this page? We're just going to do this page only just to see if our eyes see the same thing. What do you guys think is wrong with this page, and why did I have to change this page? Because this page is the first thing that I changed when I was updating my portfolio. So if you guys can let me know in the chat section. I'm going to give you 2 seconds. Okay, Aden, you're a designer. Nobody's looking at the alignment. Okay, couple more seconds. Okay, so Adam, you're saying the alignment. Well, if I was applying for a designer role, definitely the first thing that they would look at would be the alignment, thinking, okay, hell no. But I think there's a bit of personality there. And then Tondi, you're saying too much writing. And that is one of the things that I firstly changed, the writing. It wasn't going to work, right? Now imagine a CEO who's having to look at this and having to approve. It's like, it's a lot. It's really a lot. The wording, I agree. There's too much information, there's too much writing, and the wording, it's a lot. It feels like a literature read and not an introduction, say. And also, yeah, that's what I changed with this one. And then second page, we've got the brands that I worked with, right? Weirdly enough, most of the clients that I worked with liked this page. And I mean, I was starting out here and I just wanted to give them everything in a quick bit, right? So we've got the countries over here, we've got the numbers here, and then we've got the industries that I worked in, just outlining everything in one page because I didn't want to have, I would have had 1, 2, 3 pages from this page, right? Describing each industry, describing each country, and the percentage from which country and all of that. So there was a lot of information, but here clients liked this page because they felt like it explained everything briefly. And one question that I got from clients was, what are your top skills? What are your platforms? What platforms do you know how to use? So I decided to create this page just showcasing my top skills and my platforms, right? Because I was tired of those questions and having to always create a list and so on. So I just went deep into this one. And then on my portfolio, some of the pages showcased my work, where we have this one, which is showcasing a social media page that I managed for an esthetician, cosmetic esthetician. And then just to explain this page, so on the last webinar, I explained how if you do not have clients, because I know getting to this page, a lot of people are, yeah, this is not going to work for me because I don't have clients. So I have nothing to showcase, right? That's the biggest concern of most creators, that they have nothing to showcase on their portfolios. And that's, yeah, that's so sad because I wish I could tell a lot of people that you can create stuff and showcase it at your portfolio. Your portfolio is supposed to show what you can do, right? So your portfolio is supposed to give people information and show them what you can do. If you're a designer, it's supposed to show what you can create or what you can design. If you're a website developer, it's supposed to show the websites that you've created. It doesn't necessarily have to show like, oh, I created a website for Lunch Bar. I managed the social media page of this, right? It needs to show people what you can do. And sometimes it needs to show people what you have done it, who you have done it for, right? So first things first, you need to note down that your portfolio needs to show what you can do with or without clients. Okay, so this means that you can make up a company in your head and start creating content and showcase that, right? Make it clear in your portfolio that some of the work that I've created, showcase that on your portfolio. Even on your free time, give yourself like examples of companies, or write down companies that you would have loved to create content for and start creating mock-up content for those companies, right? And then who you've done it for is supposed to be on your portfolio if you've had clients before. That then is like the cherry on top, because now they see, oh, okay, so this is what you can do. And then when they get to the page of who I've done it for, it's supposed to be like, oh, okay, you've worked with these people, right? So what you've done is top priority. Who you've done it for is the cherry on top of that priority. Okay, so some of this I made up in my head. This was before I had clients, right? This was when I still had a full-time job and I had clients, and I was just making this up in my head. Like, okay, so if a cosmetic esthetician was to come to me and say, can you create this for me or manage my social media platform? This is what I would do for them. If I worked with a dentist, this is what I would do for them, right? And if I worked with another dentist, but they were more corporate, this is what I would do for them. Okay, and then if I worked with the realtor, this is what I would do for them. If they were a luxury realtor, this is what I would create for them. This was before I had clients, right? So I didn't let the excuse of, oh, I don't have any clients, so I don't really have a portfolio. Clients hate that. Now I'm at a stage where I'm hiring people, and I hate when I ask for a portfolio and someone doesn't have it and they say they're creative. Like, what are you creating? Why can't I see what you're creating, right? And then who I've done it for, right? What they had to say, testimonials. So I took testimonials from, companies that I worked with and other creators that I worked with, and I put that together and put it on my portfolio and ended it off with contact details, right? So let's take a look into what your portfolio should have. This is non-negotiable. Your portfolio should have 10 of those things. please screenshot this. At least 10 of those things. This list has got 17, and the top 10, or the ones that have optional, you can skip out, but they will get you that client, right? So obviously your introduction, your work samples, what you have done, your project descriptions. We'll take a look at my portfolio now and then see how I have made it a little bit better. Your diversity of projects. Don't just show, if you say you can do design, photography, videography, and social media, don't let your portfolio just be social media, social media, social media, social media, right? This is your portfolio, not your CV. So your CV, like, you alter it to be, for, if you're applying for to be a waitress, your CV has to meet that standard, right? With a portfolio, I always think it's best to showcase all of your skills. If you're applying for a social media job and you've created feeds and you've got photos that you took for social media, put those in there, sneak them in there, right? Because sometimes you need to upscale to your client. So if you're working with a client that hired for social media and then they come to you with a problem and you can solve that problem. For instance, if they say, Happiness, I know you're doing our social media. Do you know someone that can take photos so that we can post them on social media? I'm able to say, yes. Did you see the photos that I edited in my portfolio last time when I sent you my portfolio? We actually do photography, right? And they're able to say, oh yeah, I remember. Okay, cool. How much would you charge? It's a much easier conversation to have than, okay, so do you do social media and photos? Okay, do you take the photos? Can I see some of the photos? Okay, how much would you charge? Do you have any more photos that I can view? At least you're sending them everything that you can do in one pack, okay? I'm sure you guys have screenshotted this. You can see some of the things that definitely do get you clients is the case studies. Case studies are a must in your portfolio. It's kind of a journey. You need to answer all of the questions that a client would be answering. If you show me photos that you took of lunch bar, I want to know, oh, did you edit those photos? Okay. And are you the one who posted those on social media? Okay. If you did the logo for Absa, I want to know, did you do everything on the logo, or did you just, manage the design? Or I don't know, like if it's a website, the questions become a little bit too much. So your case studies need to outline everything that you did for that client, right? I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. Okay, so let's go take a look at my portfolio, and then everything in the previous slide will make sense. So in my portfolio now, I jump straight into it. It's like, yeah, I'm Happiness. We've already discussed this one. You can see there's less words on the introduction, right? It just dives into it, 2 paragraphs at max. It's not, you don't have to now wear your glasses to read this. You can just skim through it and you'll know exactly what I am about. And then it jumps straight into the more information if clients want to know what we do. And more of this is more of us explaining that we're not just freelancers, we're part of your team. We hate clients, most of the clients that we've dealt with, they hate, because I don't want to say hate, they kind of not like working with freelancers because of the availability part. So this part, we're explaining that we are available, we work with you, and then we explain how we work with you. And then, just as I did in my introduction, diving straight into the numbers, how many industries, how many years of experience, how many accounts have we managed, and then just something that they can giggle on to see that we also love coffee like they do. And then showcasing my clients straight to the point, showcasing the clients' logos. Trust me, if you list your clients, like saying, I worked with Absa writing in Arial Canva font, that you worked with Absa, nobody's reading that. Nobody will remember that you worked with Absa. But if I showcase my clients like this using their logos, clients are able to realize that, oh, okay, yeah, no, she worked with a company called Media North. She worked with EO Africa. She worked with Flock. People remember pictures. People remember logos, especially when it's clients or big clients. They remember logos better than words. And then case studies. So this is how I sneaked in my case studies. I didn't really. So you see how we start with the intro of some of my clients, and then I go into the logo so that they're able to quickly see who I've worked with without having to read the paragraph. They don't even read this paragraph, but it's there, right? They don't even read it at all, but it's there. They remember this part, right? And then, because some people be like, oh, I saw Absa on your portfolio. So what did you do for them? Because some don't even read the case studies that I put together. And then for those that love to read, I put the case studies together. Now I'm going to explain more into detail what I did for each client. So it's going into Media North, right? What did I do to them? What did I do for them? Now I'm saying to them, for them, which is the newsletter, LinkedIn management, and then I'm explaining our partnership. What did I do for them, right? How did I help them with their newsletter and their LinkedIn management? And then wins. How did we succeed with this one? So don't only write us a long paragraph of, this is how I worked with Media North. I did this. Okay, sure, but what were the results? Right? Especially if you're into social media, we want to see numbers. So I always say, keep track of your clients' social media accounts. That is your portfolio. If you get a new client for social media, screenshot their account before you start posting. The moment you start posting, a month later, screenshot that account and then screenshot it again another month later to show the growth of their account, right? So if you're doing a website, screenshot it to show the videos. I mean, if you're doing the SEO, screenshot it to show the analytics. And then a month into you doing the analytics, screenshot it again, the analytics to show, okay, this is the growth a month later, right? So that's what we did with our clients. For some clients where there wasn't really much growth, we compensated with a testimonial. There are some clients that you just can't get the growth because of what they're selling, right? Imagine someone who's selling, maybe, I don't know, who's selling mud. Let's say mud. You can't expect, 50 people to buy mud in one day, right? So there's always ways to compensate if you don't have the numbers. A testimonial, especially if you did your job, but because the market is not very saturated, it's not your fault, but your job was done. Remember, social media is not a sell. It's not a selling business. You're not a sales team. You're a marketing team, right? So marketing team, you're getting the product out there. The sales team is selling the product. So you're introducing the product to the people, and then the sales team closes the deals off. That's how I see marketing. Okay. And then we showed a variety of clients. So EO Africa, this is what we did for EO Africa. We did social media, logo design, rebrand, event coverage, general marketing support, explained our partnership, what we did for them. And then you can see we show pictures with each slide so that each slide is not boring. Like, people want to see the photos. Even if you don't read this, you can see this and think, oh, okay, cool. That looks very nice. So you guys posted all of this and designed all of this. Yes, we did. Okay, awesome. Right. And then some clients, we show, the photos, we show a variety of things. This is your case study. Your case study should not be more than 1.5 pages, right? But there's an exception. Like for some clients that you've worked with years, obviously you've got a lot of content to show. Like, for instance, with this one, we've worked with for about 4 years now, and we've done their social media, newsletters, event coverage, general marketing. Most people just read this. So sometimes if I don't get accepted for a job, I go back to the client that I applied to. If they have time, I give them a call. Like, hi, did you go through my portfolio? I'm just looking for ways to better my portfolio, and I want to know, what is it about it? Like, didn't you like? And they told, like, I did that with about 3 clients, and they were more than happy to let me know, like, oh, I felt like it was too wordy, so I didn't actually read. On my first portfolio, a lot of comments that I got was, I actually didn't see results. I didn't see what you really do. I saw a lot of information about marketing, but not really what you do. And one of the comments that stuck with me was that I feel like you just post because your case study or your portfolio shows only feeds. I don't know, do you write the captions? I'm really not sure what you do yet, even if it still shows the feeds, right? Do you do community management? What did you do for those clients? Was it just posting? So you need to go back to your clients and ask them what they didn't like and how you can improve. People love feeling superior. So at any chance where you make them feel powerful, they will submit. I don't know if that makes sense. So if you go back to your clients that are superior and you say to them, hi, I'm trying to improve my portfolio. I don't want to waste your time, but I just want to know what you thought about it so that I can improve it for other jobs. And they will feel powerful at that moment and tell you, oh, okay, I didn't like this and that. People just love judging other people. And at any point that they can judge you, even if it's to help you, right? So just try that and you will get the feedback that you need in order to improve your portfolio. Okay, so you can include videos on your portfolio. As I said, we've worked with this client for a while, so we had to showcase most of the things that we did for them, like, for instance, stand printing, stand design, exhibition design, sales collateral, as well as designs there. And then a couple of wins, we showcased the numbers. Then we worked with some individuals as well, like a realtor in Florida. This was actually my very first client from overseas, and she's a realtor in the USA. And we did her logo as well as the social media, her mood boards for her photo shoots. And this was great. This was honestly awesome. We then improved on the way that we show our numbers and show our feeds. Numbers are easier to see this way because they are attention grabbing, where you're thinking, okay, cool, 74 new followers in 30 days. Okay, 10 website clicks, 380 profile views, it's easier to view that way. And then we continued showing clients and the numbers and some of the events that we worked in. And then we just closed it off like that, right? So that's the current portfolio, although I don't use it much now because now it's not about me. Now it's the team, the HL Studio team. So yeah, my portfolio days are a bit gone right now, but I still use it from time to time. Awesome. Cool, guys. Any questions? I'm just going to pause my video for a second while I plug in my laptop, but any questions? Please feel free to raise your hand up. If you're not the typing type, you can honestly raise your hand up and okay, awesome. I've got a question on the chat section and it says, how do you get clients? Do you need to directly approach them? You do need to directly approach them. I was also a bit scared of that part of approaching clients, like how do I approach them? So previously, before I started the agency, when I was still freelancing, I found it hard to approach clients because how do I even do that, right? I would say go to Facebook. Facebook is your best friend. Facebook is your best friend. Go to Facebook, join the groups, right? There's a couple of groups. There's a group called Resources. That's the best group that you could join if you're a freelancer or a creative that's always looking for gigs. Resources. It's got a blue logo. That's the best group that you could join if you're a freelancer. They post jobs every second, not even jobs for full time. No, they post jobs for freelancers specifically. Every second, every minute, you log into the group and you'll find 50 notifications a day because people are posting. Designers, social media managers are doing the most on that group called freelance Resources. So I'll put it on the chat. It's called Resources. Blue logo. Yeah. And that one is where you will get your clients if you don't want to approach. You can also look into businesses that are in your area. I also looked into restaurants that are in my area and I would contact them and ask them, hi, are you guys looking for a social media manager? Don't contact the ones like Wimpy, Spurs, or those that have other branches because usually they have an agency that is marketing their their branches. So maybe contact the ones that are just unique, those hidden gems in your area and those small businesses in your area. And if you can't do that, you can always just look for a website called Apollo. So it's spelled APOLLO. It will give you apollo.ai. Apollo.ai. It will give you information on whoever you need to know from whichever company. It will give you their number, their email address, and one day at a time, just say, I'm looking for small businesses in Johannesburg, right? It'll give you their contact details, it'll give you their email addresses, and just give yourself one day where you contact them and ask them if they're looking for social media or help with their marketing. And trust me, if you make about 20 calls a week, 2 of those are probably going to set a meeting with you. So you do have to reach out to your clients, and there's a lot of resources out there that you can use to reach out to them. Okay, and then Olebogang says, can I also print my portfolio? You can definitely print your portfolio, but I don't know what you would print it for. I've never felt, in 6 years of marketing, I've never felt the need to print out my portfolio. So I don't know what you would be printing it out for, but if you want to print it, you can print it. But I've never heard of people handing out their portfolios like CVs, unless someone asks for a physical copy of your portfolio, which would be very strange, but you can definitely print it out. And then Kakhelo, you've got your hand raised up.
Hi, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yo, did you call me ma'am?
I'm sorry. But,
Hello.
apologies. Oh,
No,
happiness.
it's okay. I just never thought it would happen at 27. It's okay.
But okay, my question is, okay, I think I have two questions. But the first one is mainly about the portfolio in the sense that, is it advisable to have a website like as a portfolio or a PDF to send to clients? Because I think some clients become so, I don't know how to put this in a kind way. Okay, they tend to not actually go through the whole website. So I don't know how to ask this. Is it advisable to have a website or like a PDF, or send both of them at the same time? More like enclosing the email to state that, for one, I'm XYZ with these sources. You can access my portfolio via this link, and I've attached it. Is it advisable to do that?
Okay, so this one is a 50-50. You can have a PDF of your portfolio. You can also have a link of your portfolio. Either way, it's still going to do the same thing, right? So for instance, if you have a PDF and you attach it to an email, they're still going to browse through it, go through it, and then they have it, right? I always prefer sending the PDF than a link, because with the PDF, I feel like they always remember it. Like, oh no, she sent a PDF, let me quickly search for it, and they have it. And then with the link, I always find it like it's easy to miss. Links are very easy to miss. And with the companies that I was applying to, some of them had firewalls, so they couldn't really access my website sometimes. So I then turned everything into a PDF, right? But then also with the PDF, you can always turn it into a link by putting it in like a Google Drive and they can download it. Or with Canva, you can decide if you want to send your portfolio as a link or with a PDF. But either way, whichever one you choose is still a portfolio and it works the same way. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, happiness.
Cool. And your next question, you said you have two.
Yes. Okay. So with regards to the whole mock-up situation, because I do hear that, one can make like projects from other brands to show that what you're capable of. So would you say, with regards to mock-ups, is it advisable also in terms of, including mock-ups of different brands to kind of create your own brand? Not an active brand per se, but just, an like idea of a brand, and kind of include it in the mock-up, because I believe some brands become uptight about, the usage of their branding and what's or not. So can one, how do I say this? Because I feel like it'll be a question posed to you as to, oh, you did a mock-up for XYZ. Who is XYZ? So is that
Okay.
advisable for a freelancer to go that way, or this one?
Okay. So, let me give you an example. So before I had clients, I had, I seen that it's netball 2023, the World Cup, the Netball World Cup had sent out a tender, right? There's this website where they post tenders for social media managers. I don't know if you guys know that, but the government actually posts tenders for social media managers. So they had posted a tender for social media management for the netball, World Cup last year, and they had basically given a brief of what they're looking for, what they want, right? And what I did is I just looked at that tender and I was like, let me see if I was to create if I was to manage their social media pages, how would I do that? Right? Like, how would I help with that? And I did that whole, I did all the graphics, I played around and I took the phone on Canva and I put it together into the Instagram grid. And I was like, yeah, this would look killer. And I put that on my portfolio. And at the bottom, I wrote there on my portfolio that if I was to do the Netball World Cup website, right? And if I tell you how many clients were impressed with that, if I was to look for the slide right now, I don't know where I'd find it because it's deep in my Canva files. And now clients are like, oh, so they see that and they're like, oh, okay, so you wanted to pitch for this. Did you pitch? And I was like, no, I got scared. And actually, it makes clients want to go to their pages, the netball page, and see how it looked in 2023. And they want to see how my designs looked. And most of the comments that I get is, wow, you actually did a better job. You should have pitched this, right? So that actually impresses them more to see what's in your brain, right? There's this designer. I'm going to share a link on the Collabora group. So if you're not already part of the Collabora group, after this webinar, people share stuff there, like resources that you can go follow that we spoke about here. I'm going to share a link to this profile, a copywriter and another profile of a designer that I follow on LinkedIn. And how he started out, guys, now this guy is speaking on events like Net Group events, creative awards, and all of that because of how he started out on social media. He started out by, taking an FNB logo and saying, if I was to design the FNB logo, how I would have designed it, right? So you're not stealing their content. You're saying, this is your logo, but if I was to design it, this is how I would design it, right? So that's what you can do with other brands but not stealing their content. You can take the Absa logo, put it on your portfolio and say, if I was to design it, this is how I would design it. That's if you're confident with your design, because if it looks crap, you are going to lose a client because they're going to look at that logo. You need to be confident in order to do that, right? So that's how you create more. And then also, if you want to do social media and you don't know how to create mockups, there are a couple of pages on social media that give you briefs for free. Like there's a page that's created specifically for creators that don't have clients yet. They post a brief every day, right? So they post they post a caption saying there's a company called Soul Sweets and they want you to design a logo that is purple and has this, design a logo, right? And you can design that and put it on your portfolio and put the brief next to it and say mock-up briefs, right? So clients sometimes understand that you don't have clients, but they want to see what you can do. It's like you giving yourself the experience. Sometimes offer clients to do it for free. Like the logo for Kenisha, we offered to do that for her for free. And she was like, okay, cool, no, do it for free. I did it for free. And when I sent it to her, she's like, there's no way that I'm going to let you do this for free. Let me pay you to do this. Like, let me pay you for this. How much are you charging me? And when I charged her, she was like, I'm paying for this because I want to use this logo, right? So you also need to be confident with what you do, and you need to be able to start with nothing, right? So you need to be humble enough to start with nothing, because the process to getting 50 clients is a very long journey. It's not going to happen in one day. But if you do it right, like that guy who used mockups, you can definitely get there. You can absolutely get there. It's like not having stuff to put on your CV, like education, and then doing Google's free courses and putting those in your CVs. Companies recognize those. So I hope that answers your question, Kakhelo. Does it answer it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm so sorry. I think the last question, I feel like I'm bombarding you, but the very last question, with regards to aligning your proficiencies, like for instance, like you said, should you be using Canva? I think for some of us, Figma and other like resources such as Adobe Illustrators. How can we best align those in the portfolio? Is it a thing of the second page in the sense that, because I do see with some UI UX designers and let alone software developers, for instance, when they do like CSS, they kind of have that little loading bar that states 60%. So can a designer, in the sense of a portfolio, put like their, how do I put this, proficiency per se in their portfolio to say that I have so much understanding in Figma and put a percentage there? Is it advisable to put it that way? And yeah, that's my last question. And thank you so much.
No problem. I think as a designer, you need to know everything. You need to be an expert in everything. So if I want to hire a designer who knows a little bit of Canva, who knows a little bit, of like Figma, or who knows InDesign and, all the other platforms, I just want to know that you know them. Anything else that you don't know, you can learn yourself on YouTube, right? So for instance, why I removed that part on my portfolio that say that I know this platform this way or this 50% or this or that, because I realized that it limited me a lot when it came to job offers, because they would have been like, okay, we see on your portfolio that you know only 50% of Canva. Is there a reason for that? Because we're looking for someone that is an expert on Canva, right? And we see that you're not really expert level, so we're going to have to pass on this one. But then if I just applied, even if I didn't know Canva to that 100% level, I would have learned most of the things on, YouTube, right? I would have literally learned everything on YouTube because, for instance, I realized that then sometimes when clients say expert level, they don't even know what expert level is, right? Maybe it could be just to drag and drop and do this because they're not really efficient on Canva. So they think expert level is their level, but you maybe know it more than they do. And sometimes your imposter syndrome makes you weigh yourself a little less on those bars. So you might think, I don't want to say 100% on, I don't want to say 100% on InDesign because, yeah, I'm not really 100%, but you'll be surprised that you probably know 150% of InDesign. So I don't think add those bars, just you limiting yourself, just add the logos if you have to, right? Or just mention them, but don't say how much you know because you also underestimate how much you know, right? So yeah, that's all I can say about that one. Cool. And then I have a question there from, I just want to see if I didn't miss any questions. Okay, so Qinile, I think I answered the question on how do you create mockups. Basically, you can make up a company in your head and design for it. That's a mockup. Like, yeah, it's a social media mockup or feed mockup. But then with designers, I think designers know mockups is something different to what we're talking about here. It's another definition of design, but with social media, for what we're talking about, you can make up a company and design content for them and put that on your portfolio because that's what you can do. Portfolio showcases what you can do. So you need to show us what you can do, right? And then from Nikita, she says, what else can you use to create a logo? Oh, this one is a tricky question because this one is a very tricky question. That's like asking a designer that spent 4 years looking for platforms to create logos, and you're asking them, what do you use to create a logo? But just on simple terms, I think you can use, I mean, for simple logos, depending on who you're creating for. Are you creating it for yourself or you're creating for a client? Guys, one thing that you need to know, I've seen creators doing this, and I just want to tell you at this moment to please stop doing it. Please stop doing this. Stop creating logos for clients on Canva. I, I beg of you, please stop doing that. If you read Canva's terms and conditions, your client won't be allowed to use that logo on certain items, and they can get sued for doing that because they don't own that logo if you created a logo using Canva elements. So just think about that and do research on that because you can't use Canva to create. Yeah, I think that's when designers cringe on that because they think you designed a logo on Canva. Yeah, right? I don't care how much of a good designer you are, stop designing logos on Canva. That's all I have to say for that. And then what else you can use to create logos? I think the designers in the Collabora group would be better to answer you. I have designers on my team and they're not in this meeting with me. So, I can't really give you the information, or I can't really say you can use InDesign because even myself, I'm not like an expert designer. So yeah, I think Kafel is a designer. So I think you can ask the designers in the Collabora group. They've shared the details on the chat section, and they will give you much more information on where you can design the logos. But if it comes to designing a logo for yourself and you know that you're not going to use it to that extent or to a big extent, I do hear people suggesting that you can use Canva to design the logo, but I am against designing logos for clients using Canva. Cool. I hope that answers your question. Yes, on the chat section, Tato says you can use Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. Thanks, Tato. Cool. And any more questions? I saw someone raise their hand, but then it's disappeared from my side. I'm not sure if they got an answer, but I hope they do. I hope they did. Okay, cool. I don't think we have any more questions. Guys, then this is the end of the presentation.
Hi, sorry.
Hi.
I've sent about 2 messages letting you know that I've joined this late. So
Okay.
wanted to know, is there a link where we can watch from the beginning?
Yes.
If you can please kindly share it.
Yes. So I don't know if you're part of the Collabora Hub community group. So
I just joined it now.
okay, awesome. So the link will be shared there right after we end this webinar.
All right.
The link will be there and then you can watch it from the beginning.
Okay, no, thank you so much.
No worries. Cool, guys. I guess this is it. Anything else? Thank you, Tsinile. Thank you so much. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for joining this webinar. I am so glad that we got everything done in an hour. I was hoping that I don't waste anyone's time, and I hope everyone enjoyed and learned a lot from this webinar. Yeah, I'm excited to see everyone's portfolios. I know there's still a couple of people from the Collabora group that I owe portfolio feedback that have sent me their portfolios, and I do apologize. It's been crazy. But if you can still please, if I haven't gotten back to you about your portfolio, please just follow up with me and I'll try to get back to you this weekend. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Yes, you do need, follow me on TikTok. Those that don't know, I do post videos on TikTok giving advice, like what Kathalo is mentioning in that group, that we need to have confidence on invoicing clients, and that's my latest video on TikTok. But yeah, at TikTok, I don't even know what my handle is, guys. I'm such a bad person. My handle is probably happy level or happiness level. I don't know. I'll send it in the group. But I am on TikTok and I just post and disappear. I don't even go back to check what I have there. And yeah, thank you guys. Please do join the Collabora Hub group. They have shared the joining link there in the chat section, and we will share most of the resources there. You can contact me in the group. I am in the group, Nikita. So once you send a message there, just at me. You can just add happiness and my name will probably pop up there. And you can, yes, still send your portfolio for review. I'm more than happy. Your portfolios are always, they're always inspiring. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. And we will chat soon in the group. And hopefully I'll see you guys on next Friday's webinar. It won't be me, but it will be someone else. Thanks, guys. Bye.